YouTube, what's going on? This is part 2 of what happened.
You're so annoying. Get me out of the camera frame. You're so annoying.
YouTube, we are on our way to go see Cats, the movie. I'll let you guys know what I thought about it. But this is part 2 of cutting my boy Shane's hair. If you watched the last video, you would know I just got done cutting his hair with some hand clippers. I saw the comments. Some of you guys are just way too serious sometimes, man. It was just having fun. Some of the comments were like, babe, bro, you're holding it all wrong. I can't stand this video. It's like, dude, this is who the... All right, I appreciate the information. I now know I've been holding the hand clippers wrong.
I mean, it was your first time holding them, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I appreciate the information. The information is important, don't get me wrong. But damn, guys, calm down. It's all good. We now know how to use them, okay? And I will probably never use them again, but it's good to know. And I love the history of barbering and where it's come from and where it is today. So at the very least, we had some fun with that last video, and a lot of you guys learned a little bit about the history of barbering. So with that being said, let's finish this haircut off with actual clippers that I use today in 2020. Love y'all, appreciate y'all. If y'all new to the channel, subscribe, smash the like button, comment below because I do look at the comments. And again, I appreciate y'all checking out another video. Let's go. YouTube, what's good? We got another haircut tutorial for you here. We are still cutting Shane's hair. As you can see, he was half cut because if you didn't watch the last video, I was cutting his hair with some hand clippers. But now we're gonna actually give him a haircut because if you watched the previous video, part 1, you will know that he has family coming into town and I need to make sure that he's fresh. Now, Shane, my friend here, he's thinning on top, so we're going to let the top grow. He usually cuts it down to like a number 8 on top, but his hair is just, you know, the lower it goes, the thinner it's gonna look. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a comb over. It's a new haircut for him. I don't think he's ever done it before. And so what I want to do is lower it down to a bald fade on the side so that contrast will make the top look darker and fuller. We're gonna do a number 3 on the sides into the work that we did with clipper over comb just now and prepare it for that blurry. Wow. And that was my wife. I'm actually doing this voiceover in the car, guys. So the intro, right when I shot the intro, right after that we're doing the voiceover. You gotta get it done, guys. You gotta get it done. So we're balding him out. We have the clipper all the way closed, and I'm gonna do things a little bit differently. If you guys watch my video, I usually bald him out with the trimmers first, but we're gonna go straight to the clipper closed this time. Go blade open because some of you guys feel more comfortable fading this way. So blade open, and then we'll start to fade out that section. We'll bald him out at the end with the trimmers and the shaver, and I'll definitely show you guys and give you guys some tips on how to accomplish that without creating another line. So next step is the number 1 all the way open. That is our next guide. Then we'll go all the way closed like you see here, and then we'll use the half guard to blend out any line that's left. And it might be just a slight subtle line, but you know, we're paying attention to the details. We want to make sure that that thing is flush. So here's the half guard, and again, you could always follow along with the color guide on the bottom left corner if I do my typical rants and stop explaining things. This is my number 2 all the way open. Then we'll go all the way closed once we've done that all the way through. And I'm trying not to create another line because the 2 open should blend into that 3 that we started off with, right? So I'm trying not to create another line. There will be some bulk left, but you'll see towards the end when I start to refine that little bit of darkness above this 2 open with shear over comb. Okay, now I'm doing my number 2 close, and now this half guard, 1.5 guard, as you can see on the color guide, that 1.5 guard is going to help me take out that line that's left. Shout out to my cousin Tito Beats for the instrumentals. Link is in the description. And you guys can see the fade is starting to come together. It doesn't look half bad. We definitely need to detail it some more, but it's not looking bad. Alright, so here I chose to use a clipper comb just because it's longer hair here above the parietal ridge, and we're using some 7-inch Samvia Japanese steel shears to go ahead and refine and clear some of this bulk a little bit. I like to use scissor over comb, especially in areas like this, especially with someone who's thinning, because I can control the gradients a bit more. I feel like I can see what's going on, and it's just a little bit more detailed this way, in my opinion. If I chose to do clip over comb, I would still work in small sections like this. That way I can just control how dark this bulk is, because I do want it to look more blended, more faded, but I don't want to lose that darkness that's creating that gradients, that fade, right? Okay, so we've gone through the system, and now we are our initial fade system, and now we're using our trimmers to debulk the bottom here, being careful using my corners, being careful not to cut a line into my previous fade work. And if you notice, I use my corners the closer I get to the fade area. And then now I'm using just one foil on this Babyliss shaver, and I'm using my corners the higher I am on the side of his head, and then I'll use the full, both of the foils on the shaver the lower I get, just because I know at that point I'm not afraid to create another line. So I might come back in and do a little bit more detail work before I do this side, complete this side of the cut. Now you guys can try doing, you know, side by side the way I'm doing here, but typically in the shop I will do the whole thing in one shot. This is definitely for recording purposes, and we're just gonna go through the same exact steps. Thank you, great fire truck, appreciate you. Never happens, only when I'm recording a tutorial. But we're doing the same exact steps, guys, that we did on the left side of his head, on the right side, just trying to stay as consistent as possible. And you guys might remember this part. Number 1, open. And his hair is not easy, guys. Like he's not by any means the perfect model for for an Instagram photo and stuff like that, just because of all the imperfections, right? Like his hair growth patterns, the density. He's definitely light on top, and I can say all these things because this guy's my friend, but yeah, this is, at the end of the day, if you are a barber in a barbershop, you know, for all my barbers that are upcoming and kind of new, that this is going to be the typical clients that you get. But honestly, they're the most loyal if you can cut their hair the way they like it, because, you know, you're making them feel better. You're solving problems, issues that, you know, otherwise they wouldn't be able to do on their own, or Great Clips or somebody, or your typical chain shops probably wouldn't spend this amount of detail in their hair because they can't. It's no knock on, like, you know, stylists or barbers at Great Clips or anything like that, but it's really difficult to do, you know, 15-20 minute haircuts on guys like this, and really pay attention to all the details, you know. So hopefully nobody was offended by what I just said. And here in the back section, you definitely, for me, I'm definitely taking my time here, just because it is, especially with people who are getting light, you know, on the top or on the sides, the back of their head around the occipital bone and below the crown typically stays the most dense area. So you really need to pay attention to this area and make sure you're spreading out the blend enough so that it doesn't look way darker in the back than it does on the sides. Okay, on this side, I opted not to use scissor over comb because if you look in his crown area, it's really light. But then when you look towards his hairline, the recession area, it's really dark, and it's because he has way more dense hair there. So I opted to go back to my guards and really focus on that really dark area, and get that a little bit lighter. And what you'll notice is I don't really spend that much time around that lighter crown area. I'm mostly trying to make this area right here light enough to match the left side of that area. Hope I didn't confuse you guys. Alright, so now we'll start to debulk and knock out the bottom line. Again, using a lot of corner. The higher I go, the more corner, the lower I am on the side of his head, the more I'm just worried about knocking out bulk. Okay, and on the beard, you know, during the consultation, I pretty much asked him if he's okay with me really cropping the sides down, so that just to give him a more squared face, because as long as the sides of his beard was, it was just making his face look really round. So we dropped it down to a 3 on the sides and left some length around his chin area, just to make his face look slimmer and more square, more masculine. Alright, we're going to put some product in his hair, and what I recommended to him was to use clay. So I'm using indestructible clay right now by Tomb 45, and I told him to use clay because anything wet, anything with too much shine is going to make his hair look even more see-through. So clay and matte finish products that don't have any oil in it, it's going to make his hair look fuller while still giving him hold and you know, and styling. Now I didn't cut anything off the top. I want all that hair length to sit on top. I want all that bulk to stay on top. So I'm only cutting what's gonna fall over to the side of his head. And then we're just doing the same thing on this side of the beard. You know what's crazy? What I forgot to do? He likes his hair and his beard enhanced, and I forgot to do that. But he's actually a client that does like everything enhanced. Unbelievable. Alright, I'm cutting the rest of your hair in the dark.
What just happened?
I don't know.
Did the restaurant just short out the
Landlord didn't pay the electricity.
That's terrible. It sounded like a transformer though.
It's a good thing we finished
The important part.
before that happened. Oh, we have light. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? It happens. That happens in the shop, but it was funny. I think it was like you heard a noise of something go out, so it was weird. But check it out, guys. This is the finished product. After seeing the before, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Smash the like button. I think we did a good job, and we made his final look dope on him. You like the cut, Shane?
Thumbs up.
They're gonna kill you in the comments, bro, for not showing more love, bro. Unbelievable.